devices. The applicant and members of the public may speak to any item before the Plan Commission when the relevant item to which you wish to speak is called and public comment is opened. Unless an exception is made by the Plan Commission, the following rules will apply. The applicant is given up to 10 minutes to present any information they wish for the Plan Commission to consider. Thereafter, members of the public will be given 5 minutes to address the specific item before the Plan Commission for consideration. Members of the public may speak only once per called agenda item, unless a Plan Commission member requires clarification or wishes to ask a question. Questions and statements from the audience will not be considered. Only statements from the podium after your stated name and address and within the allowed time constraints are taken into consideration. After all community members have had the opportunity to speak on a called agenda item, the applicant will be asked if they have a final statement for the Plan Commission, and then the Commission may take action on the agenda item. The Common Council has adopted rules of decorum for city boards and commissions, including the adoption of a civility pledge. No person shall personally attack a board member, or commission member, city official, or staff, or any other person. No person shall make irrelevant, unduly repetitious, offensive, threatening, slanderous, defamatory, or obscene remarks, or act in such a manner as to disrupt or disturb the orderly conduct of the meeting, including hand clapping, stomping of the feet, whistling, shouting, or other demonstrations. Thank you for your understanding, and now on to the agenda. Can we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Sherman? Here. Ms. Pratt? Here. Mr. Rucker?
Here.
Councilmember Nichols?
Here.
Mr. Bellevue? Ms. Davy? Here. Mr. Lowenstein?
Here.
Mr. Bowen?
Here.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Here.
Chairman Perry? 8 board members present.
Okay, approval of the March 18th, 2025 minutes. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move to accept as written.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, can we have a voice vote, please? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, I think these minutes have passed. On to item number 1, residential design standards variance to allow for a patio on the front facade at 1907 Crane Street. Seth Palmer is the owner and applicant. Have there been any site inspections? Okay, the staff report is accepted as part of the record. Please report your summary.
Thank you, Chairman. The subject property is a residential lot located at 1907 Crane Street and is approximately 13,500 square feet in area. The property is a corner lot with Crane Street running along the east and Columbia Avenue to the south. The property contains a 1,217 square foot single-story residential home that was built in 1939 according to the City of Oshkosh Assessor's website. The surrounding area consists of single-family uses with varying character and similar scale that are zoned single-family residential 9. In August of 2024, the applicant had applied for a permit to install a new patio door opening on the front facade of the home. At that time, the owner explained to staff that they would like to construct a patio at a future date. At that time, staff informed the owner that a design standard variance was needed for a patio to be installed on the front facade. The owner then submitted the proper application on February 2025. The home and driveway are situated towards the northwest corner of the property, leaving minimal rear and side yard area for the patio. The house is currently 23 feet from the rear and 13 feet from the side yard. The applicant is proposing to construct a 40 by 40 patio along with landscaping and a landscaping stone border and a concrete pad in front of the existing patio door. And then here is the site plan. Staff has determined that this DSV request is non-contrary to the public interest because the proposed patio will meet the principal structure setback requirements for SR9 zoning of 25 feet, and the proposed patio will not extend any closer to the front property line than the neighboring house to the north. Furthermore, there is a 6-foot tall privacy fence that will screen in the proposed patio from the public right-of-way and from the adjacent neighboring properties. Staff has also determined that the property provides an unnecessary hardship because the current layout of the home and the driveway limit the available area to construct a patio, and therefore is eliminating the possibility for a patio where the zoning ordinance permits them to be constructed. With that, staff recommends approval of the variance from the city's residential design standards to allow for a patio on the front facade with the conditions and the findings listed within the staff report.
Thank you. Planning Commission, any technical questions for staff? Any technical questions? Okay, seeing none. I'm going to open public comment and request a statement from the applicant. If the applicant is here, please approach the podium and state your name and address for the records, please. Just go to the podium there.
Well, what do you need? My name and it's Seth Palmer. I don't really have anything to add. She's said everything that I put into my own plan when I submitted it, so, and I read through it again today just to make sure everything looked good, and I thought everything was square, so.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other members of the public that would like to make a statement? Okay, seeing none, then I don't think we need a closing statement from the applicant, so, okay, Commission, the action is upon you then.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Shireman? Aye. Ms. Crum?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0, or 8-0, sorry.
Okay, on to item number 2, which is a public hearing, conditional use permit request for an adaptive reuse at 309 High Avenue. Jane and Richard Crystal are the owner and applicants. Have there been any site inspections? Okay. Staff report is accepted as part of the record, and please report your summary.
Thank you. The subject site is located on the south side of High Avenue, east of Jackson Street. The subject parcel is approximately 7,200 square feet in area and is developed with an existing 3,843 square foot, story and a half office building, and the site is predominantly surrounded by various commercial uses. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit approval for an adaptive reuse of the property to convert the existing office space to a single-family use. According to the applicant, the existing footprint of the building will not be changed, and there are no external design modifications planned. Here's a picture of the building. Staff is in support of the conditional use permit for an adaptive reuse, as the conversion will not have a detrimental impact on the surrounding area and will not result in increased traffic to the site. In addition, the property does have sufficient parking and meets the residential parking standards of 2 parking spaces per single-family dwelling unit. Staff has determined that the proposed use of the site will align with the design of the building itself, as the exterior appearance is consistent with that of a single-family home and fits the character of the surrounding area. This Inspection Services Division has noted that the change of use from the commercial building to residential will require the building to meet all of the uniform dwelling codes related to new 1 and 2 family dwelling units. And then with that, staff recommends approval of the proposed conditional use permit for an adaptive reuse at 309 High Avenue with the findings listed in the staff report.
Okay, Plan Commission, any technical questions for staff? Ed?
Just sort of a curiosity here, I guess. Within urban mixed use, office is a permitted use, and residential is a permitted use on this scale, I believe. Is that correct?
Not a single family.
So single family is not permitted within urban mixed use?
believe it's by right permitted now.
It's not by right, okay,
Yeah.
got it. So because it's going from, my curiosity is because clearly this was a single-family home when it was built, right? Like initially, whenever it was built in probably the 20s or 30s or whatever that vintage of that house was, it at some point became the office use. I'm curious if we had given this a conditional use permit long ago to become an office, and we're giving it another conditional use permit to go back to single family. But it makes sense to me now that single family residential is not a by right use within urban mixed use, so that's why we have to do the CUP here.
So our records have always showed that this has been used as an office.
Oh, really?
So the adaptive reuse is
The
needed.
adaptive reuse
Yeah.
is, okay, got it, okay. No issue with any of it, I'm just more curious as to like the, kind of the historical progression of the property, because it's it's kind of unique. Thank you.
Any other technical questions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing and request a statement from the applicant. If the applicant is here, could you approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please?
My name is Richard Crystal, and I live at 5544 State Road 116 in Omro, town of Winneconne. My wife and I bought this back when Attorney Hildebrand retired. It was the Hildebrand Law Office. Before that, it was Catholic Social Services. In the 1920s, it was a home. I have met with Nicole Cron when I came up to start this procedure. She has done an in-site inspection and has sent me an email of things that the city would require in order to make it a home. We have complied with some and are just waiting for the approval so that we can complete it. I have all things that could be completed within 3 weeks. So we have not left any time. We didn't know we needed a conditional use permit when we changed it from office to the home. My son, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter have already lived here 3 years. So this all came about as we requested garbage service, and the Department of Sanitation, they kind of reared their head and said, hey, you're not doing this right. So that's how we got here. But anyway, I guess that's probably all I have, unless somebody had a specific question. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public that would like to make a statement? Any other members of the public? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. And I don't think you need to make a closing statement, or?
Me?
Yep.
No, I think I said everything.
Okay. Commission, then the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Sherman?
Aye.
Ms. Pratt?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer.
Aye.
Motion carried 8-0.
Okay, item number 3 is also a public hearing. A zone change from suburban mixed-use district and a single-family residential 9 district to a single-family residential 5 district for properties east of Farmington Avenue and Christian Drive. The City of Oshkosh is the owner, and the City Department of Public Development is the applicant. Has there been any site inspections? Okay. The staff report is accepted as part of the record, and please report your summary.
Thank you, Chairman. The subject area consists of 2 vacant lots, one being 5.55 acres just east of Farmington Avenue, which is currently zoned SR9, and another parcel that is 5.65 acres in size and is located just east of Christian Drive and is zoned SMU. You can see both of those up on the screen here today. The city purchased both of these properties to develop a 31-lot single-family subdivision. The purpose of the acquisition is to address the affordability housing needs identified in the 2022 Housing Needs Assessment and Strategy Plan. The surrounding area consists of a variety of uses. Commercial uses are located east of the subject area along the Jackson Street corridor. while multifamily uses are located to the south, and then there are some established single-family subdivisions that are located to the north and to the west. The comprehensive plans land use map was amended for the southern lot on April 8, 2025, from general commercial to low-density residential to allow for this proposed zone change. Here's another aerial showing the two properties and the surrounding areas. So the city is in the process of having this 31-lot single-family subdivision plat prepared. The southern lot, which is currently zoned SMU, does not allow for single-family uses, which is the primary reason for the request of the zoning amendment to SR5. Additionally, based on the input from residents to the west, the city is requesting to change the zoning designation of the northern lot from SR9 to SR5. The SR5 zoning district allows for a maximum of 5 units per acre versus the 9 units per acre in the SR9 district, hence the 5 and the 9. The proposed zone change is also consistent with the SR5 zoning to the subdivision to the west. And so overall, this will require this proposed subdivision to match the existing neighborhood to the west, and the lots will be similar in size. Here is a picture of the preliminary plat, just for reference. Staff does recommend approval of the zone changes with the findings listed in the staff report.
Okay, any technical questions for staff? I just had one. You mentioned that the plan use map was amended on April 8th, 2025. Was that by this commission, or is that by the?
I believe we did that at the last plan commission meeting.
Okay, so I'm not sure that date was. Oh, correct.
Council approval, I believe.
Oh, council approval?
So we had council, plan commission council. Okay. Okay. Just there.
Sorry, correct. Yeah, at the April 8th council meeting, yeah, ordinance number 25-160.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions, so opening this to the public hearing. The city is the applicant, so I don't think we need to make another statement. Is there any members of the public who wish to make a statement on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none. Would you guys make a closing statement for the city?
Nope.
Commission, the actions upon you. Straying from the agenda.
Motion to adopt the findings as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, there's motion discussion. Any discussion, any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote then, please.
Ms. Sherman? Aye. Ms. Cronk?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Motion carried 8-0.
Okay, on to item number 4, final plat for the creation of a one-lot multifamily residential subdivision at 2022 Olivia Road. Red Earth LLC is the owner and ISG Incorporated is the applicant. Have there been any site inspections? The staff report is accepted as part of the record. Please report your summary.
Thank you. The subject site is part of a undeveloped lot identified as Lot 1 on the Lake Beatamores Drive preliminary plat, which is approved by council in May of 2024. The property will be developed as Phase 2 of the 6-phase Lake Beatamores development, which is planned for a total of 522 multifamily units. Phase 1 is currently under construction, consisting of 2 40-unit apartments with clubhouse, while Phase 2 will consist of an 82-unit apartment building. The property is zoned neighborhood mixed use with a planned development overlay, and the Common Council approved a SIP for phases 2 through 6 for this development at its March 12, 2024 meeting. The surrounding area, except for Phase 1 to the south, is generally undeveloped. Lake Beatamore Drive, which is a frontage road for US Highway 45, is located to the east. We have the state Wyowash Trail and Lake Beatamore itself to the west. And to the northwest and the southwest, about a quarter mile, are some single-family residential developments. It's just aerials showing the proposed plat area. The 11.45 acre lot is located at the northwest corner of Lake Beatamore Drive and Olivia Road with 629 and 370 feet of street frontage respectively. Of the 11.45 acres, approximately 8.32 acres have been mapped as wetlands or waterway, leaving 3.13 acres as developable area. The proposed lot meets the neighborhood mixed-use district minimum code requirements in regard to width, depth, and area. With the proposed dwelling unit total of 82 units, the density for the development is considered low at approximately 7.2 units per acre, where the NMU district has a maximum density of 36 units per acre. The proposed plat, it's up there. Proposed plat will include new right-of-way dedication. The 60-foot wide east-west street named Olivia Road will be extended southwesterly approximately 314 feet, and then it turns southeasterly approximately 195 feet as a new name that's going to be named Blair Boulevard. And both street layouts match what was shown on the approved preliminary plat. Water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, paving, street lighting, and grading and drainage plans have been submitted and are currently under review by the Department of Public Works. Approved plans will be required prior to plat approval by the Common Council. The final plat does show all required easements for private and public facilities, and a temporary cul-de-sac easement is located at the south end of Blair Boulevard. The city police and fire departments have reviewed the final plat and have not indicated any problems servicing the proposed development. And the Oshkosh Area School District has been notified of the proposed subdivision and has not responded with any concerns about being able to accommodate the potential increase to the student population. As far as parkland dedication, the plat does not include area for parkland dedication. The Parks Department reported there is a need for a community park in this area of the city. However, the city's comprehensive outdoor recreation plan identifies a suitable location further to the northwest. And up on the screen, this is a map of from the Cork plan. The dark purple area is showing an area identified or targeted for a need for a community-sized park. So instead of land dedication at the subject site, the city recommended receiving fees in lieu of, which amounts to $27,600. And then over time, as parkland fees are collected, the city will be able to purchase land in this area for a future park development. Terrace Street plan has been submitted as part of its overall landscaping plan for Phase 2. A total of 18 trees are proposed, with 9 on the north side and 9 on the south side of Olivia Road. The number of trees exceed the minimum requirement of 1 tree per 60 feet of lot frontage, and has a maximum of one tree per 30 feet of lot frontage. So I hate to say this, but the trees are actually going to have to be scaled down a bit. The final tree selection and placement will be coordinated with the city forester as time of planting nears. With that, staff is recommending approval of the one lot Lake Beatamore Phase 2 development with the following condition: that all civil design plans shall be approved by the Department of Public Works prior to Common Council approval.
Okay, thank you. Plan Commission, any technical questions for staff?
This is phase 2 of 6, potentially 6, right?
Correct.
Do all of the phases come before us again?
For plating purposes, yes. The council approved the SIP for this March of last year.
Okay.
And which was reviewed by this body first.
Okay, and neighborhood meetings, no more, just the first one with the initial?
No more meetings, but we're still sending out the same notification to the same list of properties as the earlier phase.
But no opportunity to get together and make recommendations or
No.
any of that? That's done only initially at the onset?
Correct.
But all the remaining phases will come before us? Okay, thank you.
I think David had a question.
Any traffic concerns or studies been done in this particular area?
Initially, recollect Transportation Director Jim Collins stated there was not a concern about a year and a half ago.
Has the post office been notified about the name of the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're part of the review process.
Good, thank you.
We really gonna tell them they have too many trees?
It's going to be kind of.
I'm just asking what Marty's thinking.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's, we just want to make sure the right species and the right spacing and all that sort of stuff so that we don't do it. I'm just trying to make sure I understand. It's a very rare thing for us to have to think about, I guess, so.
Too many trees.
Yeah, okay.
Is that conflict with the utilities you're saying?
Yes. Yeah, the subdivision regs, I have a maximum of 1 per 30 feet of frontage. But that's more typically found with single-family residential lot developments where you have a 60-foot wide lot, and if you have too many trees, you're not going to have space for utility connections and driveway entrance and that sort of thing.
Thank you. Any other technical questions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open this to public comment and request a statement from the applicant. Is the applicant here, and if so, could you approach the podium?
Thank you. I'm Jake Buswell at 9439 Elkland Road in Toma, Wisconsin. I'm with Red Earth LLC and Three Amigos Property Management. We're the landowners as well as the developers for the project. I want to say thank you to city staff for your support, and thank you for the Planning Commission and Common Council for your support of the previously passed and approved GDP and SIP, as well as the preliminary plat which was passed. Today, the agenda item being voted on is the final plat, which conforms to the original preliminary plat. Approximately 3 months ago, I believe, our team met with Justin and the team at the city to kind of go over the next steps in the process here and what made sense for this phase 2 as far as public right-of-way to go in. And during that meeting, it was decided then that we would construct all the public right-of-way for the phase 2, as well as extend the city utilities going all the way through phase 3. So we're putting in approximately 500 feet of utilities within this next phase, which is also a part of this final plat. As of note, there are 2 retention ponds that will be included in this phase as well. And Jeff, you did a great job sharing the details with the Planning Commission. I don't have too much more to add other than just again wanted to say thank you for the city's support. Going back, thank you to Mark and Kelly multiple years ago. We met and really appreciate the opportunity and the support we've had. I guess I don't have too much to add besides any questions I could answer if you have any.
Thank you. Are there members of the public that would like to make a statement? If so, please approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please. Any members of the public that wish to speak? Okay. Seeing none then, I'm going to close the public comment period, and would the applicant like to make a closing statement? Thank you. Thank you. Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Sherman?
Aye.
Ms. Prompt?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye?
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer.
Aye.
Motion carried 8-0.
Okay, on to item number 5. A general development plan for a drive-through car wash at 1700 South Kohler Street. MP Development 18 LLC is the owner, and Peter J. Schwab is the applicant. Have there been any site inspections? The staff report has been accepted as part of the record. Please report your summary.
Thank you. So the site is located at the southeast corner of South Kohler Street and Osborne Ave. It contains a former restaurant building, which was formerly Applebee's. Property is zoned SMU PD, and the surrounding area consists of commercial uses. So here's a view of the subject site. Again, a previously used restaurant building exists on the site. The applicant is proposing a drive-through car wash, which will also include 20 vacuum stations, and that land use is permitted in the SMU district. The owner intends to eventually utilize the eastern area of the site for a small commercial business. The site will utilize 2 existing access points off of Osborne Ave, and they plan to remove an existing access off of South Kohler Street. The plan includes 20 vacuum stations to the east of the building, as well as 28 parking spaces for a total of 48 spaces, where code allows a maximum of 25 parking spaces. Staff does not have concerns with allowing the excess parking to remain, as it is abutting a commercial property and will likely be redeveloped for a commercial use in the future. The applicant will need a BSM for the increased parking, and that will be addressed during the SIP phase. The site plan slightly exceeds the 70% maximum impervious surface ratio for the SMU district, only by 1%. So the applicant will need to minimally reduce the impervious surface ratio for the site, or else they will need a BSM for increased impervious surface ratio. That will also be addressed during the SIP phase. The applicant has submitted a conceptual landscaping plan. It has not provided the point calculations for the required landscaping categories, and that will also be reviewed during the SIP request. So the plan shows building foundation plantings on the north, south, and west sides of the building. It shows a combination of trees and shrubs around the parking lot for paved areas. Along the street frontages, it shows existing trees, with some of the trees being proposed to be removed and replaced with new plantings. And for yards, the plan shows a combination of new and existing plantings. And again, the point requirements will be addressed during the SIP phase. Here are the standard building elevations for Tommy's car wash sites. So the specific elevations will be addressed during the SIP phase, but they're concept elevations, so a combination of pre-finished metal panels, fiber cement panels, split face CMU block, and storefront glazing. And again, the final elevations will need to be submitted as part of the SIP phase and will need to be compliant with the city's commercial design standards. So with that, staff recommends approval of the GDP with the condition that all BSMs will be addressed as part of the SIP application.
Okay, Plan Commission, any technical questions for staff? Kathy?
Will the existing building be demolished?
Yes.
Okay. And the next question is 20 vacuum stations kind of seems excessive to me.
And as I mentioned in the staff report, the code kind of considers them parking spaces, so they will need a BSM as part of the SIP phase to allow that many spaces.
That was my question. It looks like they need extra parking spaces, and I was curious if you have a drive-through car wash, why you need extra parking spaces, but it's because the vacuum spots are considered parking, okay. Because I was like, I couldn't figure out why you need more parking spaces for a drive-through car wash. Okay. All right, well then that at least makes sense. Okay.
So that the possible development is to the east of those parking stalls you see here?
Correct. This area is where they anticipate future commercial development.
Okay. So those stalls would remain too, or?
These will remain until the site would be, that portion of the site would be redeveloped in the future.
The potential site would actually sit on those parking stalls?
Yes.
Okay.
John, one more.
Yep.
And then I read in there too that the entrance to the car wash is not going to come off of Kohler any longer. It's going to come up
Correct.
on the side.
Only from Osborne. There's an existing entrance to the site here that will be removed based on the plans.
Okay, and that's fine. Like we can
Yes.
not have something come in. I mean, that seems like better, but I
Correct,
didn't
yeah.
know we could not have a entrance there. Okay.
Any more technical questions? Seeing none, I'm going to open public comment and request a statement from the applicant. If the applicant is here, please approach the podium and state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Peter Schwabe, N16W23233, Stone Ridge, Waukesha, Wisconsin, 53188. I'm here on behalf of the Killian family. Our family is already invested in the community with another car wash we're building right now, as well as McDonald's restaurants. They like the community, and that's why they want to invest in it further. They're looking forward to taking this site, removing the abandoned Applebee's building, and redeveloping it in a way the site plans show us as projected. We think that removing some of the overgrown trees and doing a landscape plan according to what through the SAP process will make certain we meet those requirements, and we will make certain that we address that 1% impervious surface issue as well. And I think there were a handful of other comments made by the engineers and commissioners that need to be addressed. Right now, we're looking for approval for a GDP so that Mr. Skillian can move forward with the project and put together his more detailed engineering plans for the project. Thank you very much.
Are there any other members of the public that would like to make a statement? If so, please approach the podium. Seeing none. I'm going to close the public comment period. Would the applicant like to make a closing statement?
No, thank you.
Okay. The commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Kathy?
Could I ask the applicant a question about all the vacuum spaces?
Sure. So,
Enlighten me about why you need all those vacuum spaces.
I'd be happy to. I can occasionally go to competitor car washes. This one happened to be in the Oconomowoc area, a new high-speed car wash similar to Tommy's Express. And when I came out the back end, they only had about 8 or 9 vacuum spaces there. And there was a lineup of people in that waiting to use the vacuum spaces. Tommy's Express Car Wash takes great effort nationwide to do what they calculate the number of cars that will be coming through the car wash, as well as the percentage of people that will turn and use the vacuum cleaner, so that we don't have a back of people wondering when they can wait for a vacuum space. This makes certain that there will be vacuum spaces available. So that's their experience.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
okay, any other discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Sherman? Aye. Ms. Promp?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Present.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer.
Aye.
Motion carried 6-0 and 1 present.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. Brian's going to present the next 3 items in a row. I didn't read my first sheet here, sorry. Okay, and then we'll have discussion and voting after the 3 staff reports are presented. So item number 6 is a public hearing, zone change from institutional district to central mixed use district at 110 Pearl Avenue and property located on the south side of the 100 block of High Avenue. Item number 7A is a public hearing, a conditional use permit request for a transit center expansion at 110 Pearl Avenue, 222 Pearl Avenue, and a property located on the south side of the 100 block of High Avenue. Item number 7B is a special area design review and architectural building plan review for new restroom waiting area building and a bus platform at 110 Pearl Avenue, 222 Pearl Avenue, and a property located on the south side of the 100 block of High Avenue. The City of Oshkosh Go Transit is the owner and CUNY Architects is the applicant for all 3 items. Have there been any site inspections? Staff reports are accepted as part of the record. Please report your summaries.
Thank you. So the subject area for the rezone consists of 2 parcels with frontage on High Avenue, Pearl Avenue, and Market Street. Includes the GO Transit Station and associated parking area to the west of the GO Transit Station. And it also includes access drives and parking stalls utilized by the GO Transit Station. So here's an aerial of the subject site. So again, it includes 2 properties. The applicant is proposing to rezone from institutional district to central mixed use district. So this is the current GO Transit Station and adjoining access and parking area. The site in between the two properties is zoned CMU, so the applicant is proposing to rezone the subject sites to Central Mixed Use District. That will allow for the applicant to combine the three properties into one property, and that will allow the applicant to expand their services by adding a new public building with a public restroom and waiting area, as well as a second bus platform. And if rezoned to CMU, then that will require a CUP as well as a special area design review. Staff is supportive of the proposed zone change to CMU, as it will allow the three city-owned properties to be combined, which will accommodate the proposed facility expansion. Also, the proposed CMU zoning is appropriate as it's consistent with the neighboring CMU zoning in the surrounding area. So again, staff is supportive of the proposed zone change of these two properties. Then on to the conditional use permit request. So this request includes the two properties being rezoned, as well as 222 Pearl Avenue, so it'll include all three parcels. Go Transit is proposing to demolish the existing office building at 222 Pearl for construction of a new restroom and waiting area building located here. There was previously a bus driver support building constructed here on the site, and there's an existing bus platform. And the applicant is also proposing a new bus platform to the west of the new restroom and waiting area building. The site will have accessed from Market Street, Pearl Avenue, and High Avenue. The proposed new buildings meet setback requirements for the CMU district, and the additional pavement will not extend into the established setback areas. The public lot has 53 parking spaces. There is no minimum parking requirement or impervious surface maximum ratio for the CMU district. The applicant has stated that the existing plantings on the site will be preserved or replaced, and the proposed CMU zoning of the site will require special area design review. Here's kind of a concept view of the new building and the new bus platform. And the plan is compliant with zoning requirements, and staff recommends approval of the CUP request. And now on to the special area design review and public building review. So again, the Go Transit is proposing to demolish the office building and construct the new restroom and waiting area building, and then the new bus platform. As it's zoned to CMU, it needs special area design review for the new buildings. Here are the building elevations for the restroom and waiting area building. It will have matching materials to the bus driver support building on the site, and the building exterior will consist of red brick facade with beige metal siding. The new facility will also feature stone cladding at the primary building entrance. Here's the new bus platform on the top, so that the bus platform will include a canopy. It will replicate the existing bus platform area on the site with matching dark bronze metal roof and red face brick columns. Here's a view again of the new building and the proposed new bus platform. Staff believes that the proposed restroom and waiting area building and bus platform designs will not have a negative impact on the area, as the structures will be harmonious with the existing Go Transit station site, and the proposed building and canopy include high-quality exterior materials that match the existing building and canopy on the site. And here's kind of a view of the rear. So here's the new building and the existing bus driver support building, and then the new bus platform. So staff recommends approval of the special area design review and public building review. That's all of them.
Okay. Regarding item number 6, the public hearing for the zone change, Plan Commission, is there any technical questions for staff? David?
City of Oshkosh as the owner, is there tax dollars implicated in this particular proposal?
I will defer to the applicant on that question.
There are no local tax dollars involved. This is funded through funds that we received from the CARES Act and ARPA. So the majority of it's ARPA, but it's funds that the federal government designated for transit.
Thank you.
Just while you're up there,
Sure.
This isn't related to necessarily what's before us, but just generally, why do we need the second bus station as a city? I mean, the restrooms and the waiting area make a ton of sense.
Yep.
But I just want everyone to understand why we need
Sure.
a second station.
So the second platform, currently, we have, we allow Lamers and USA Bus who are, they provide intercity bus service. So we currently allow them to board and alight passengers on Pearl Avenue, so they're doing it on street currently because there is no room at our current, as you can see, we have currently 6 buses stop there every 30 minutes, and we have no additional room. So those 2 intercity buses board and alight on the street. We've also had in our request, and it's just recently surfaced again from an affiliate of Greyhound, if they could use our transit center, and we basically had to tell them, no, we don't have any room. But however, with this expansion, that's possible, and we could potentially get some revenue that way as well. You know, we haven't gotten to those details yet, but if we have the room, there's the potential for that. And then also we have intercity service that we're currently doing using cabs and minivans between the Oshkosh Transit Center and the Neenah Transit Center, but those are also boarding and lighting on streets. So in summary, it'll allow those vehicles to board and alight off the street, which is safer for the passengers and the drivers of the vehicles, and then it'll allow us an opportunity to offer further transit expansion if and when the time comes.
That's great, thanks.
David?
The restrooms that will be available, will they be a 24-hour or will they be locked in the evenings?
Yes, so that's a good question. So there's pluses and minuses, right, with having a public facility like this. So the restroom and facilities will meet our transit hours, which are currently 6:15 a.m. to 6:45 a.m. Monday through Saturday. So that is the only time it will be opened. However, we have some issues currently, and we know that there's going to be some potential issues with this. So we're working with the police department. They are opening a downtown police station I think it's on the corner of Algoma and Main. So we've been working with them and possibly the community service officers so that they can help us monitor that area and or look at security services as needed. So we're aware that there's potential issues that might arise, but conversely, I think that you know, if you're using public transit, if you're using it, you're flying, you're taking a train, a bus, whatever that is, I think that our passengers deserve the ability to stay out of the elements and to have a restroom facility. So that is the plus of it, but we do realize that we're going to have to monitor the situation and try to keep it safe and secure for everyone.
Good, thank you.
Is it the transportation department that's responsible for the cleanliness of the area then?
Yes.
And there isn't any staff other than the bus drivers that would use the facilities?
Not, so that, the blue building there, that is, we constructed that a couple years ago, and that is, so that is staff only, so transit drivers have a break room and restrooms there, as well as we have a supervisor's office there, so there is a supervisor present there. Now, I can't say that he's there all the time, because he has other responsibilities as well, but he is down there quite a bit as well. This building will be specifically the public restrooms and then a open waiting area for passengers.
Any other technical questions on this item? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing. Request a statement from the applicant. That'd be
I'm going to call up John from CUNY, who's our architect.
Yeah, John Wallenkamp, CUNY Architects, here for any questions you may have that haven't been talked about.
I don't think anything on this particular item, but okay. Are there any other members of the public who would like to make a statement on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing, and would you like to make a closing statement, or? I don't think so, but we can
No, I don't think so.
We have the next two items on the agenda as well, so. So the commission, the action is upon you for this first item.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Ms. Prop?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, and this is regarding item number 7A, the public hearing for the CUP. Plan Commission, any technical questions for staff? I'm not sure if it's on this one or the next one, but where the office building was, on kind of going towards the west side of it, was there a road in there at all, or was that just an access drive? Because I know I pulled out of the parking lot and went over to Pearl one few
It was
weeks
just
ago.
an access drive kind of running through the site.
So there's nothing that has to be vacated or anything? Okay. Okay. I don't know if there's any technical questions then. I'm going to open up to a public hearing. Again, request a statement from the applicant. Do you have anything to state on this one?
Yeah, based on that last comment, I will point out that the current parking lot cannot cross over to the platform area. There's a raised curb area there, and there's two exits coming out of the parking lot that you'll see on the proposed plan there. So it keeps the vehicle pedestrian traffic, traffic out of the bus lane traffic. The dog leg that's kind of been introduced into the platform, the new platform area, is because there's a major utility pole that between We Energies and that there was discussion not to move it, so we kind of created some different movements there and analyzed the bus turning movements and working with engineering staff to make sure everything meets their requirements. Thank you.
Thank you. Any members of the public that wish to make a statement? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I don't believe there's another closing statement, so we'll move on to the commission if the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Ms. Prop?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, and this is regarding item number 7B, the special area design review and architectural building plan review. Plan commissions, any technical questions for staff? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open public comment.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I wanted to discuss the maintenance of the restroom. Will that be a daily occurrence? I'm in full favor of public transportation. Opening up the restroom just is good for our riders, but I do think that we'll have issues with other individuals using this, and how will that be maintained, and how will that be, for lack of a better word, cleaned on a daily basis, or what is that process?
We do have a cleaning service that cleans every day. So they clean our administrative building as well as the downtown transit center. So they take care of garbage and then also do the internal cleaning every day, as well as with the help. Well, they also do our buses, but also we have some of our main staff does that as well. But yeah, that's done currently every day.
Thank you.
And if I may, and I'll highlight the finishes inside the building have been put together knowing the type of environment is going to be there for easy cleaning. There's a complete trough system on the back wall so they can spray the unit down. So it's been designed with that maintenance in mind too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other technical questions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open up to public comment, request a statement from the applicant. Provide it. Are there any members of the public that wish to speak on this agenda item? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment period. Applicant, would you like to make a final closing statement?
Yeah, architecturally, as mentioned, the building that exists there on site that Jim mentioned was for staff. That's a recently constructed building. All the materials are going to match that building, and same thing with the platform as mentioned. So everything is going to kind of flow together as one complete campus.
Okay, thank you. Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Ms. Prompt?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you.
Okay, on to item number 8, approval of the Pickard Park Master Plan. The City of Oshkosh is the owner and the City Parks Department is the applicant. Have there been any site inspections? Okay. The staff report is accepted as part of the record. Please report your summary.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, so the Parks Department is requesting approval of the Pickard Park Master Plan, which has been prepared by the Rettler Corporation in cooperation with city staff, the Advisory Parks Board, and the Green Acres Neighborhood Association. Pickard Park is a 1.51 acre parcel that was dedicated to the city of Oshkosh as part of the Pickard Estates subdivision development on West 9th Avenue, which is also just east of Clairville Road. Rettler Corporation had gathered public input during 2 sessions in 2024. After the first meeting on April 30th, 2024, it was determined that a playground, walking paths, shade covering, seating, green space, lighting, and a multi-use court should be included in the conceptual site plan. 2 of those plans were produced from the input at that meeting, along with cost estimates for each design. Those 2 options were then presented at a second public meeting on September 25th of 2024, and the public input from that meeting unanimously chose the concept that you see on the screen today. The Advisory Parks Board approved the plan at its March 25th. Again, the overall plan, the master plan for the park, was approved at that meeting on March 10th, 2025. And planning staff has reviewed the master plan and is requesting the Plan Commission make a determination that is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. The Pickard Park Master Plan was developed to provide clarity for future use of the park and to assist in implementing the ideas outlined within the plan. The plan is divided into 7 sections with 2 appendix sections. The Pickard Park Master Plan is consistent with the goals listed in the recently adopted Comprehensive Outdoor Recreation Plan, calling for developing long-range master plans for parks within the system. The plan also does not have any conflicts with the city's comprehensive plan or the zoning ordinance. Staff recommends Plan Commission approve the Pickard Park Master Plan based on the finding that it is not in conflict with the comprehensive plan or the zoning of the property.
Okay, thank you. Plan Commission, any technical questions for staff?
Again, do these come before us? Master plans all come before us? Because this is the first one I've seen, but I don't think we have a whole lot in the parks.
Yeah, the last one, I think we looked, the last one was
Roosh, we did the Roosh Park.
Oh, Lakeshore Park, after the municipal golf course was converted. So that would have been the last time that this body saw a master plan for a park.
Okay.
So then in regard, so the city owns this property and the city will continue to own this property and it'll be converted to a park. Who will be developing this park and building this, and where do those funds come from?
Yeah, we do have our Parks Director, Ray Mauer, here, if you want to ask some questions to him.
Good afternoon. We, in the city's capital improvement plan this year, we do have $350,000 to begin developing this park. And so we'll be working, the neighborhood came up with the priorities that they would like to see us start to implement. So once the plan is approved, we'd start moving forward and we will hire a consultant to help with some of that development.
Good, thank you, Ray.
Sure.
Is that a pour and play type surface, Ray, the colorful one?
For the playground, yes. Every playground that we do in the city is now the pour and place for accessibility.
Sure. Okay. And is that amount budgeted sufficient to do?
The entire plan, I believe in there is about 1.2 million, so roughly a quarter of it, depending on, the cost increases that we're expecting, but, so we'll phase it in just like any other park development.
Okay. Good. Okay. We're going to open a public comment period. I think Reed made a statement already. Is there any other members of the public that wish to comment on this agenda item? Please approach the podium and state your name and address.
My name is Bernadette Lewandowski, and I actually live in the subdivision, and we're very excited about it. Our question is that once the phases start, how long will it take for each phase to be completed?
And would you state your address?
Oh, yes, 764 Paul's Place.
Thank you.
So the question about the future phases, that'll all depend on the phasing of the project and the availability of funding through the capital project, capital improvement plan with the city. Obviously, we have a number of parks, a number of different plans that we are instituting, but we try to disperse that across the city as well. So it'll all depend on the capital improvement funding.
And it'll start soon?
Yes, we're already working on some plans with a consultant, assuming that this will be passed today, and then the Common Council will adopt it then.
Any other members of the public that wish to speak on this agenda item?
Sure. Sorry. Sean Christian, 601 Paul's Place. Just a quick question, should we expect any traffic changes or anything during construction time?
No, I think having a vacant site, anything that we'll be doing out there, the majority of the equipment will be, and any earth moving will be done on site. It's pretty low as far as the amount of grading we'll have to do. We actually had a finished grade pretty well. We'll have to make sure that it drains well, but I don't expect a lot of traffic on the roadways.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yes.
I just have a question. My name is Tina Jones at 664 Paul's Place. I just have a question about the lighting. There's 6 lights that are going to be in the park. Right now, we have solar lighting in our subdivision, and I hate to say it, but it stinks, because when it's cloudy at nights, there's times that there's no lights in our area whatsoever. So I'm wondering, the park, is it going to have solar lighting, or is it going to be equipped with lights that are dependable? Okay.
So we have been working with our electric department, or electric division in the city, to look at alternative LED lights. The technology has been improving, and so we'll continue to look at LED lighting. I understand the concern. I've heard that from our electric division, that there are some concerns with the cloudy days. So it's to be determined at this point. What those will, we'll be continuing to take a look at the different models and their reliability as well.
Any other members of the public that wish to speak? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public comment period. Maybe is there any other comments you'd like to make?
Nothing, just more questions if you have.
Okay. Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendation as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Any other discussion on the motion?
Yeah, Ray, if for the $300-ish thousand that's in the CIP for 25?
25, correct.
Is that specifically focused on Pickard Park?
Yes.
Okay. Are there future funds designated specifically for Pickard Park in the 26, 27, 28 CIP, or are they general park funds that we'll have to allocate?
We do not have in our current 5-year CIP, but as we are just beginning that process, that we'll be starting to slot some in for future phases as well.
Okay, and so probably council can expect for the 26 CIP that'll come before us November-ish, that we can see funds specific for Pickard Park, and then people will have some clarity over what the phasing may look like.
I can't say in 26, because again, we do have a number of parks across the city that have master plans, Lakeshore Park, Rouge Park, a number of those that we are phasing in as well. But we'll definitely, in that 5-year CIP, we'll be starting to slot it in for all of those various parks, including some of the, more of the traditional parks, let's call them, or the community parks as well.
Perfect. And just to confirm, that the long-term plan, I think it's a 10-year plan, you could actually see out that far for the CIP, so they'll be able to see what changes they can expect for their park in the next 5 years as that's proposed in the fall. Is that right?
Correct, and actually, we're starting the CIP process next week, or I think we already got the information out last week, so we're working on it now.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
And my comment was just exactly what DJ said. People want parks faster, quicker, how soon? And, you can't answer that because it's really based on funding.
It's really based on funding and the city's commitment to borrowing. If there's some opportunities, I don't see a lot of opportunities for some grant funding out here. Those are typically nature-based activities that will be funded with grant funding. But we'll continue to look at those for other potential parks. And if, we've got Lakeshore Park, of course, that has a master plan that we've been slowly implementing. And so it's a matter of funding.
And it's great, the plans that have been put forth and fulfilled over the last 10 years have been tremendous, and we made a lot of progress in our parks in the city. I know I've been a thorn in Ray's side for many, many years about ball diamonds and stuff, and it's been a great job cleaning that up. So, and I'd like to just say that I think this might be the first park plan since I've been on the Plan Commission in 2016 that we've seen in the development come all the way to this point, at least. And this is great to see. I don't like the payment in lieu of park monies. I think this is great to see this actual park being planned and coming to fruition. So, thank you. Any other comments? Kathy?
Yeah, sadly, there's never enough money to develop parks. Never. And I lobbied for years that give the parks a little bit more priority. So I lobby again, of course. But also, I think I read that something like 20 neighbors attended a neighborhood meeting, and they participated actively in this plan. I think that's marvelous.
Yeah, we had great.
Marvelous. Thank you, neighbors.
We had great involvement from the neighborhood. They had the opportunity to email in comments if they couldn't make it, but that first meeting was very interactive.
Okay, good.
All right. If there aren't any other comments, let's have a motion, or we have a motion on that. Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Sherman? Aye. Ms. Prock?
Aye.
Mr. Rucker?
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Mr. Lowenstein?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, the next item is adjournment.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All right. A voice vote, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
And